fun facts about them. And Brenton, our first speaker, kind of went above and beyond, and his stories are so awesome I had to share a few. His worst travel experience. After getting robbed in Thailand, he found himself on the back of a motorcycle of a guy who he thought was trying to steal his bag, but honestly, the guy just wanted to get into the train on time. During that ride on the highway, without a helmet, they were cleaning the overpasses. So for 5 straight minutes, every time they hit an overpass, Brenton would get dumped on by cascading sewage water at 70 miles an hour. Right? Another one for him. Fun fact about Brenton. He loves to freestyle rap, and he also used to be part of a hip-hop dance crew. This is the part where I'm like, really? He once had to dance his way out of Malaysia when he was trapped there. Yeah, so without further ado, let's give Brenton Weyi a big round of applause.
In the ancient Greek tale of the Trojan War, the Iliad, the principal hero, Achilles, the greatest warrior on earth, speaks of a conversation he has with his mother, the goddess Thetis, as he decides whether or not he should fight. Able to see the future, Thetis tells him of 2 paths he could potentially walk. If he stays and doesn't fight, he will have children and grandchildren who will love him for generations, but his name will fade in the sands of time. If he goes, he'll never return, but his name will be immortalized in history forever. And for those of us who know the tale and the tendon, Achilles chooses glory. But why? We'll get to that. In the year 2012, amidst a journey to nearly 30 countries, I found myself at a school for meditation and martial arts in northern Thailand. Here's a photo I took at the school, as picturesque and movie-like as you can imagine. And in my first few days there, I sat down and had a conversation with the headmaster. And he told me that that period of time would be one of the most intense periods of struggle I would ever experience. And it'd be one of the most profound periods of growth I would ever undergo. And then he shrugged his shoulders and said, none of this means anything to you now anyway, so come back to me in a few months. And I did. And he was right. I told him that that period is one of the most transformative periods I ever could have conceived of. And that it was also one of the happiest times in my life. But how is that possible? I asked myself. We got up at 4 a.m. every single day, meditated for 4 hours, trained in martial arts for 3. I was battered, I was bruised, I was broken down. And yet I was saying I was happy. And then I thought about the Western conception of happiness. The white picket fence, the nice car, maybe even the yacht. And I began to think that maybe this conception of happiness was a bit incomplete. A few months after that, I found myself at a Thai lantern festival with a friend of mine from the UK. And we ended up at the house of a Thai farmer friend of ours named Nee. He was this short, stocky Thai man who always had this great crimson smile on his face from all the betel nuts that Thai farmers chew. And as we sat down for dinner, my friend pulled out his phone and started taking photos of all of Nee's handmade art. And he said, Nee, do you ever regret the fact that you don't have access to modern conveniences? And Nee smiled and leaned back and said, look around you. I have food on the table, a family that loves me, and work that brings me dignity and joy. What more could I ask for? And my friend was taken aback, and as was I. This was the first experience of many that I would have of encountering people who had so little externally, but so much richness and depth internally, added on by Aboriginals in Oceania inviting into their communities, or homeless men in Malaysia sharing their last morsels of food with me. I couldn't help but think about these seemingly opposing realities continually unfolding right before my eyes. And I continued to think about it right until I returned to colorful Colorado. And I wrote to a lot of friends about my experiences. And one of my friends wrote back something that was really beautiful. He said that life is the tension between opposites. And I couldn't have said it better myself. We're all living in a tension between growing and expanding, but also strengthening from within. And this idea of tension is one that's been explored by writers and thinkers throughout the ages. One of my favorites being Leo Tolstoy, who in his novel Anna Karenina has an aristocrat character named Levin, who actually goes and works with the farmers that he hires because he finds dignity in their work. And I also think of Aristotle, we talk about the idea of needs, that there's no absolute right or absolute virtue, but that everyone is trying to find a balance between excess and temperance, and that in finding that balance for ourselves, we'll find fulfillment and happiness. And all these thinkers talk about the human desire to explore, to discover, to seek new horizons. But in order to ascend, we must necessarily leave something behind. Which brings me to think of Teddy Roosevelt, who spoke of the man in the arena, whose face is marred in the sweat and the dust and the blood. And a lot of people don't know that the word arena is a Latin word for sand. And it is there that the human struggle unfolds. Which brings us back to Achilles, who epitomizes the struggle, who literally left everything he knew to fight to become the person he thought he could be. And finally, I think of Viktor Frankl, who said that it's not man's job to live in a tensionless state, but to strive and struggle for goals that are worthy of us. So how can we struggle to become our best selves? Because this living in the tension is why I say that humans, just like life, are paradoxes.
Applying sewage water at 70 miles an hour, and he manages to pull that out of himself.
Super beat. Super beat.
Where's Brenton? Oh, okay, he's behind me. So this is totally different. He did ask if he could do some freestyle for you guys. And frankly, who am I to say no? So I'm going to end with a quick thank you. I'm so happy that you guys came out. I feel free to hug me. I'm a hugger. And I hope that I get to see all of you again. This has been kick-ass. So, yep, thank you. And here, we are going to roll out with Brenton.
Can we get another really big round of applause for Kat and the Ignite staff? They're so amazing putting this on. I mean, they're killing it. They're killing it. So I got done with my talk, and I was like, oh, I think I did pretty well. Then everyone's like, Brenton, we thought we were going to wrap. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, I disappointed you guys. So I was like, maybe I'll come around in the end. So a couple things about freestyling. Nobody knows what's going to happen, where it's going to go. But the funny thing that people always do is whenever I get done, they're like, oh, but you thought of that beforehand. I was like, okay, yes, I had my journal in my back pocket and I was writing things down. So this is what we're going to do. I want 3 random words to emerge from the crowd. It doesn't matter what they are. You have to make them overly complicated or make them complicated, whatever. So I heard spark, cheesecake. Was that holification? Palpitation. Like palpitating. Yep. So, cool. So I have one of my great friends here, Joseph, and I've been friends with this man for nearly 14 years, so we've gone on a lot of adventures together. And I asked him, because I only have one hand because I'm holding a microphone, so since there was only a one-handed man on stage, I asked him if I could lead you guys in just some basic rhythm. I promise it's not going to be hard. Joe, would you mind? A little faster. All right. Just hold that pace. You guys can hold the beat. I like that. So, we chilling here. Yes, we did it right. Yes, it was time to sparkle. It was time to ignite. Yes, what words am I going to do? What am I going to take? I'm a sweet man. I love dessert. I love some cheesecake. So, you're bringing it back because it's all in the mind. Let's open up my cranium. You can see the gears grind. It's a glory oratory. It's morally derogatory. That expository expedition in your auditory. But it's okay because I love, never hate. You can hear my heartbeat, or oops, I said palpitate. So, it's all in the chest. It's all in the body. I'm feeling so good, but no, I'm never feeling shoddy. We learned about scleroderma. We learned about love. Yes, it's okay because we saying what's up. We are gathering together. We are a community. Drop the common. It's just us. It's all in unity. Because we are together, we're clapping our hands. And we could make a new song. We could make a new land. We could make a new world. We could make a new scene. Or we could make another new dream. So I'm telling you, leave with love. And I'm saying right now, you got to leave with more love, because leave with a smile, 50-80 is a mile. And it's okay because don't be confused, don't be beguiled. So right now, I'm saying I did it for you. And right now, we said I did it for the entire crew. So everyone here, I'm yelling with a heart. We ignited tonight. Yes, we sparked.